Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs has said time and time again that changes to the Homeless and Eviction Prevention Fund and the direct-to-tenant rent supplement programs were merely administrative and that people were going to have more, not less support. But the reality is that rent supplements are no longer available for families not already in the program, that there hasn't been money available to support new applicants since the summertime. The fund is dried up. And now families are having to make a hard choice between eating their next meal or keeping a roof over their heads. To the Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs, now that families are unable to access rent subsidies and are having to wait over 2 years to get into affordable housing in many cases, just what are they supposed to do?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the opportunity to respond to this question. And as you know, Mr. Speaker, the rent supplement program is working. It's working very well. In fact, it's helping our most vulnerable people. And that's whether it's paid directly to them or to the landlord. And the member's right. Given the current economy, the demand for all our housing programs is high. But I can tell you that this year we are providing $140 million to assist 85,000 people that are low income through rent subsidies. And I can also tell you this, Mr. Speaker, that the waiting list for rent supplements, it is not growing, and it has not, and that's incorrect. The information you have is incorrect. That wait list does not grow, Mr. Speaker, and in fact, we are assisting each month 800 people.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, the fact remains that you know, since summertime, we've been hearing, all of us have been hearing on this side of the House from people in our constituencies, our respective constituencies, that people cannot access the money if they're not already in the program. So the program may be working fine for people who got in springtime or earlier, but for people who are falling on hard times now, they're in trouble, and your fund is not supporting them. With the need for Alberta's food banks up a staggering 61% because of the economic downturn, how can the minister justify this failure to adequately fund the direct-to-tenant rent supplement program at this crucial time?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I really would have liked you to have been there at the luncheon that I had today with the Edmonton Coalition on Housing and Homelessness, because this is the very issue that we talked about, and this member would have benefited from that meeting, because the rent supplement program, I can tell you it has increased significantly over the past 3 years, and it was $18 million assisting 7,500 people 3 years ago. Today we have $90 million assisting 40,000 people. And, Mr. Speaker, there are 800 people supported, new people and families, that includes families, individuals, supported each month with this program. Each month.
Yep. Honourable Member.
Mr. Speaker, she is playing with the figures here. She's playing with the figures. Sure, there's been all kinds of money spent over the last 3 years, and that's precisely why the ministry has turned off the taps or turned them down to drip from flow, because they're trying to stem the amount of money that they're spending. Social workers are getting fed up with this government saying one thing and doing another. How can the minister reconcile, wait for it, I'll get to it, how can the minister reconcile her well-advertised commitment to end homelessness with her failure to adequately support rent subsidies that would actually keep families from becoming homeless?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, to talk about the ending homelessness area that we've really worked extremely hard on with our 10-year plan, Mr. Speaker, we have provided, it's a $400 million commitment over 3 years for capital dollars to build housing for the homeless. That's the first time in Canada that money has ever been committed, and it's a significant contribution. And as well, we are assisting 1,000 people this year that are homeless with a $32 million commitment, and that is significant. And it's
the Honourable Member for Calgary-Currie, followed